Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is still my favorite RPG to date. It represents everything a sequel should aspire to. It's so good that I made a whole video about it, which you should definitely see if you haven't already. Super Paper Mario made a very bold, brave, and stupid move by changing a perfect formula, and yet somehow, this game is a fucking masterpiece, easily one of the best on the Wii. Fortunately, Nintendo would come to their senses and return to the old formula in their next game, where you play with fucking stickers.
Stickers, 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 stickers.
You must have the stickers or you won't pass.
Then they made it even better, cause now you're playing with fucking paint. But let's turn the clocks back to early 2001. There's no such thing as 9/11 or stickers. The GameCube is like half a year away from launch, and you want to get the most out of your N64 before you're forced to get with the times. Then along comes this game called Paper Mario, and you think, wow, an RPG on the N64 that isn't fucking Quest? It's like a whole new world. And frankly, this game deserves points just for being part of the barren wasteland that is the RPG scene on the N64, and for the fact that without this game, neither Thousand Year Door or Super Paper Mario exist. Then again, by that logic, you could also take away points for Sticker Star and Color Splash, so I guess it just evens out. Paper Mario begins by telling us about the Star Rod, a magical wand that can grant the user any number of wishes they can think of. Then Bowser and Kammy Koopa take the Star Rod and incapacitate the 7 guardians that protected it. Meanwhile, Mario and Luigi receive an invitation to a royal party at Peach's castle. Only problem is that Peach's castle was built on top of Bowser's castle the whole time. Wow, they really fucked up. Bowser then crashes the party, makes himself invincible, burns Mario alive in front of Peach, and then throws him out of the fucking window. God damn. You know, I consider Paper Mario to be a trilogy, and between these 3 games, this game probably has the most lighthearted storyline, but holy shit, this game's portrayal of Bowser might actually be one of the best ones in any Mario game I've played. Because this is one of very few times that he actually stopped fucking around and actually did something. In the other games, he just kind of fucks about and just does the same thing and waits for Mario. Not in this game, though. Bowser is actually a scary presence in this game. He's a true force of evil. Kammy Koopa is also great. She's old and hilarious, but she's also more intelligent and cunning than Bowser, which creates this nice dichotomy of brains and brawn. It's a shame she only appeared in 2 games so far. The characters in this game are great. Mario has these awesome partners who all have their unique abilities and personalities, but as long as you have Bombette, you really don't need anyone else. The game is split into chapters. In each chapter, Mario leads his band of miscreants to a different world in search of the Star Spirits. At the end of each chapter, you unlock a Star Spirit. Then you play as Peach as she cooperates with this star named Twink to infiltrate Bowser's ranks and get secrets to help Mario out. And along the way, Wait, the star's name is Twink? Wow. I guess you could say that the N64 library is pretty gay.
Well, hello there. And aren't you the handsome one?
Each chapter is its own little world. There's the ice world with all the little penguins. You got the little toy box that's overrun by Shy Guys. You got the flower level that makes me want to fall asleep until I just fucking die sleeping. I fucking hate that level. Each level also has a boss fight, and some of them are actually hard as shit. When I played through this game to get the footage, I upgraded flower points and badge points exclusively until they hit their max, which is pretty much the same way I always play Thousand Year Door. The difference is that unlike Thousand Year Door, where you can upgrade until you like have 7 billion fucking badge points, you can only get up to 30, and even then, there aren't enough badges to make yourself broken like in Thousand Year Door. And for this reason, upgrading everything but health is the most dipshit thing you can possibly do, and I wish I figured that out before this playthrough. While we're talking combat, your partners don't have health. Instead, when an enemy does an attack that hits your partner, they become incapacitated for a few turns. Also, the action commands can be slightly harder to nail the timing for because the game runs at 30 FPS instead of 60, but it's N64, so it's not really a fair criticism, and the difference is very minimal. Also, it takes 7 fucking years to get enough star power to use a special move, but On the bright side, unlike Thousand Year Door where there were all these RNG elements like the audience throwing shit or pieces of the set falling off and killing you or fog effects or the dog shit slot machine, the battles are very straightforward and don't pull any punches, and yet still, they will fucking kill you. This game actually made me fucking angry. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it does feel very wrong to say anything bad about Thousand Year Door, which has been on my shortlist for best video games in the entire history of the universe for years now, but as much as I hate to admit it, the original game is much better about its difficulty. Not only is it less random, but in general it is just more challenging. I will say I have a huge respect for broken techniques just because of how fun they can be. I have an equal amount of respect for a genuinely challenging game though. Paper Mario is not the hardest game in the world, but if you're being a complete fuckwit like me, where you don't upgrade your health, then you're gonna get fucked up. This will be you before the game, and when you're done, you'll look like this. Another thing that the original has that Thousand Year Door doesn't is the spin move, which I really want to call the spin dash. In a game that requires you to wander around and look for shit to progress, Mario's slow walk speed is extremely exhausting, especially in those moments where you get stuck, but this one simple little thing makes those times where you do have to do this much less of a chore. And to make this even better, there's a badge that you can equip that makes it even faster. When it comes to exploring, the game is very rewarding. There's all kinds of collectibles, there's badges that have really special perks, there's star pieces that let you get more badges, there's these little upgrade boxes that make your partners more powerful, there's all these letters that Parakarry dropped because he's bad at his job. Paper Mario is full of interesting characters. There's this morbidly obese shy guy who's obsessed with cake, there's Junior Troopa who has a vendetta against Mario after he said Jake Paul sucks, and then there's the teenage stupid Koopa Bros. And then when it comes to your allies, I think Lackluster is the coolest. I mean, look at him, he's got shades, and shades are cool. The craziest boss has gotta be Tubba Blubba. He's just this completely dumb bozo who takes ghosts and eats them alive mindlessly like fucking chips. That's kinda fucked up. My only issue with the characters is that almost all of them seem largely derivative of characters that are already in the Mario universe. Well, some of them are original, but mostly not so much. Now, it does take place in the Mushroom Kingdom, so it's justifiable, but it can be slightly boring at times. But it is making much more of an effort than Color Splash, that's for sure. I think the story of this game in general isn't really anything special. There's cool moments, but it doesn't do anything crazy. At the end of the day, it's all about foiling another one of Bowser's kidnappings. But the game's ending though? Holy shit. It's climactic and very satisfying. I was actually surprised when I went through it again. I don't remember the ending being that cool when I first played the game almost a decade ago, but now, I'll never forget. When it comes to presentation, Paper Mario is great. The aesthetic is very bright and colorful, in line with the storybook feel the game has about it. Though, granted, I have a weird feeling that the paper aesthetic may have just been an excuse to make everything a sprite, because it's N64. And aside from certain graphical effects, the paper part of the game isn't really integrated into the gameplay and acts purely as a visual component. That's not to say that it doesn't work though, of course it does. The game looks very nice, and as usual, the aim for a less realistic aesthetic has allowed the game to age much better. It's incredibly atmospheric. Have you ever played a game and it seemed as though you could actually feel the game? Like Ocarina of Time, have you ever gone to the Fire Temple and it feels as though the temperature of the very room you're in is actually rising? Or Conker's Bad Fur Day, when you're scaling Shit Mountain, does it not feel like you can actually smell it? Ugh. Paper Mario is very good about this too. The Ice Palace actually makes the room feel colder, the volcano makes it feel hotter. My favorite level, the island, has all these seemingly harmless plants that you can interact with, except half of them are actually deadly creatures. So it makes the room feel like Australia. The sound design in Paper Mario is probably one of the best things about the game. There is such a massive variety in music. There's the echoey underground soundtrack for the sewer, there's the obligatory Happy Town music from every RPG, you got that yippee skippy music for the toy box, and possibly one of the best songs in the game, Bowser's theme, which is genuinely menacing. Remember when I said that this game has the best Bowser? So much of that is owed to his theme song. It's like, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Darth Vader? It's the Imperial March, right? This is Bowser's Imperial March. You hear that song and you know you're about to get fucked all the way up. When it comes to sound effects, on the other hand, where's the voices? I mean, it's a Mario game on the Nintendo 64, so it's not like it's going to be fully voice acted, but by 2001, I think that a certain amount of voices would be commonplace. Look at Mario 64, look at Mario Kart 64, Smash Bros. This, again, is a fairly minor issue, but it does hinder the human element of the game somewhat. Some of my favorite moments in the subsequent games were just Bowser getting pissed off and screaming, or Mario reacting to certain situations. It added just a little bit of personality to the experience. But considering how much personality and charm the game has despite this, it's not a huge deal. In any case, the graphics and soundtrack are married beautifully to create a whimsical and charming universe that set the stage for the entire series. Every single element of Paper Mario that I consider to be a flaw seems only to be as such on the grounds that it's different from Thousand Year Door, which I must confess is not quite fair of me. But it doesn't really matter in any case because the game is amazing. It's easily the best RPG on the N64, one of the best N64 games in general, and kicked off one of the greatest series of all time. Even if you count Sticker Star and Color Splash, then still more than half of the games are amazing, which is more than can be said for a lot of series. I honestly cannot recommend this game enough. While I'm recommending things, let me take this opportunity to plug this amazing Paper Mario cartoon that you may or may not have heard of that I stumbled upon by complete chance. It's called Goombario's Quest. Let me just say this cartoon is fucking hilarious, clever, and amazing. There's only 2 15-minute episodes so far, but they're both hilarious and you should definitely check them out.
Red, what are you doing here? The darkness at this hour is even too much for me to bear.
Yeah, I needed to run away, big time. Anyway, I need a place to stay.
Are you okay, son? I heard
It's honestly the greatest thing I've ever seen, ever. Tell him I sent you. Or don't. I don't know. Anyway, Paper Mario is great, Goombario's Quest is great, everyone in the whole world is just wonderful. It's amazing, I just love everything about everything, don't you? I mean, it's almost Halloween, and then there's gonna be fucking Christmas, and then New Year's, and I'm gonna be playing fucking Smash Bros on the Switch that I can't afford, and then the controllers that cost $900 each, and all that stuff is stuff.